Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Our topic for this class is public enterprise or public corporations. In this class, we will be looking at the meaning of public enterprise or public corporation. Also, we'll be looking at the formation and management of public enterprises, sources of capital and reasons for government ownership of public enterprises, and lastly we'll be looking at the advantages and disadvantages of public corporations or public enterprises. We will be starting off with the meaning of public enterprises. Public enterprises means an entity that is created by the state or government to carry out public missions and services. A public enterprise is a large-scale business organization set up, owned, financed by the government of a country with the aim of providing services to the members of the public. In order to carry out these public missions and services, a public corporation participates in activities or provides services that are also provided by private enterprises. A public corporation is also known as a public enterprise and a statutory corporation. The public corporation is managed and controlled by the board of directors appointed by the government. Some examples of public corporations are the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, that is FRCN. We also have the Nigeria Port Authority. We have Nigeria Telecommunication Limited, that is NITEL. We have Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and amidst other examples. Now let's move on to formation of public enterprises. 1. Public corporation. Public corporations are organizations controlled by board of directors appointed by the government, while the minister in charge is the overall controller or overseer. 2. We have quasi-government departments. Quasi-government departments perform some commercial functions. They are responsible to the government through the minister. For example, hospitals. 3. State government owned enterprise. These are enterprises established and controlled by the state government. State government owned enterprises is established by edict. Example is Lagos State Transportation Corporation or Akwa Ibom State Transport Company, etc. And lastly, we have local enterprises. Local enterprises are managed by the local government. They are mostly facilitated in the rural areas to ensure development of such areas. Now let's look at the sources of capital for public corporation. That is how public corporations are funded. The first we have is internally generated revenue. This is known as the profits made from the already existing business. They get finance from revenue generated internally. 2. Grants from foreign countries. Countries like the United States of America can help in granting loans or financial aid to set up public corporations. 3. Grants from international financial institutions. Public corporation or public enterprises can also get finance from some international financial institutions like the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, Africa Development Bank, etc. We also have loans and overdrafts. Public corporations can also obtain loans and overdrafts from commercial and development banks.
Here are some of the reasons why governments establish or own public enterprises. 1. Employment opportunities. One of the major reasons why governments establish public corporations is to provide employment opportunities for the citizens. 2. For strategic and security reasons. The government also established public enterprises for the purpose of controlling some certain key industries like the oil and gas industry, the airport, the seaport, for strategic purposes. 3. To provide infrastructural facilities. The government also established certain corporations to provide infrastructural facilities like roads, railways, airports, seaports, etc. Next, we have to prevent monopoly. The government also established public corporations to prevent private sector from exploiting the general public. Number 5, to promote economic development. The government invests in enterprises like banks, insurance, etc. in order to have a firm control over the economy and regulate it. Next, we have to ensure even distribution of income. Government engage in some business enterprises in order to ensure fair and even distribution of income. Next, we have to prevent foreign dominance of the economy. Government ventures into business in order to prevent or reduce foreign control of the economy by foreign investors. Lastly, for this class, the high capital requirements. Public corporations require a lot of money to start, which cannot be easily provided by the private sector or private individuals.
So what are the advantages of public corporations? We have 1. There will be availability of large and sufficient capital to work with. 2. They base their decisions on the full cost and benefits involved. 3. They can be used to influence economic activity. To boost the country's output, public corporations can be directly encouraged to increase their output. 4. In case where it is practical to have only one firm in the industry, such as rail infrastructure, a public corporation would not abuse its market power. 5. Ownership of a whole industry by the government makes planning and coordination easier. For example, if the state runs the train system, it can ensure that train timetables are coordinated. Next, it is important to ensure that basic industries, so much as electricity and transport industry, survives. They charge low prices and produce good quality as other domestic industries depend on them. Next, it serves as a creation of higher standard of living for the people. It also caters for the interest of workers, and there will be continuity, that is, their existence is perpetual. And lastly, for this class, avoidance of exploitation of consumers. Now let's take a look at some of the disadvantages of public corporation. 1. It requires a large capital. 2. There is inefficiency in the operation of public corporations. 3. In public corporations, there is usually corruption and mismanagement of the public funds. 4. Public corporations are not profitable. 5. There is lack of initiative in public corporation, that is, workers or staff do not put in their best to get the optimal output. 6. There is lack of privacy. 7. There is usually wastage. 8. There is danger of monopoly, that is, the government may take over a certain industry and control it. 9. Decision making in government or public corporation is usually slow, thereby leading to inefficiency. Lastly, for this class, government regular interference. And before we end this class, let's take a quick assessment. The first question: a public corporation objective is to A. Make profit, B. Exploit consumers, C. Render essential services to the public, D. To get more customers. Number 2, the public corporation is managed and controlled by the A. Individual, B. Workers, C. Taxpayers, D. Government. Number 3, the following are examples of public corporation except A. Power Holding Company of Nigeria, that's PHCN, B. Guarantee Trust Bank, GTB, C. Nigeria Port Authority, NPA. And number 4, all the following are advantages of public corporation except A. There is continuity, B. There is danger of monopoly, C. Availability of large capital, and D. Creation of higher standard of living. And lastly, the employees in public corporation are regarded as A. Public servants, B. Private servants, C. Company workers, D. None of the above. So just choose the correct option from A to D or A to C as applicable. With this, we've come to the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching. See you in our next class. Bye bye.